Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. In this video, I'm going to discuss date time functions in DAX. Okay, so whenever you have to work with the date type data, you may need to do some transformation. You need to extract some information from the date. In that case, these functions are going to help us to perform the operation on the date and time data. Okay, let's see how we can use these functions one by one. Okay, whenever you have to create a date in Power BI. Okay, since I don't have loaded data here, okay, let me connect to the source first. And okay, this is what my data set, for example. And if I load the data, okay, if you want to create the new date, okay, if you want to create the new date, you can create that. Just if you want, if you either you can use this formula in the measure or in the calculated column also. So if I say new measure, and here I'm going to create the date. Okay, new measure is equal to, I will say date, and date here it will ask first to enter the year, then month, and then day. So you can enter all these values separated by comma. If I say 2023 is my year, then 08 is my month, and 27 meaning today's date I am going to consider it here. And if I hit the enter button, the measure will get created for the date. Okay, even I can change this name to date, and we can use this date to see it in visuals, right? Automatically it creates a date and time type data, meaning that it shows the date, whatever the date I created, but along with that it says the 0000, this is the time. Okay, so this is how we can use the date function to create date object or date in Power BI. Okay, fine. So later there is something called calendar. Okay, let's say you have to create the relationship. Here this is my sales data, but you may want to do some analysis based on the date. Okay, so here I have a date. Here I have a date column, but if I create the same number of rows, meaning if I create the calculated column to extract the quarter information, day information, month information in this table, so those data will be repeated, meaning the, see here dates, if you look at the number, okay, 1464 dates are there, and the 51,290 rows are there. If I use the same table, the problem is that, okay, so quarter information, meaning the data will get generated for the large amount unnecessarily. Even that will affect your Power BI performance. In that case, what you can do, you can create this separate table for the calendar information and just check what is the date range you are looking for. And let's say I have here 2011 to 2014 data. So in that case, we can use the same one. Okay. So here now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the new table. So if you want to create the new table, okay, no, I don't want to clear new column. I want this new table. Okay, and here now, if I say table name is equal to calendar, okay, and there is a function called calendar itself. Okay, the function is there with the same name. Okay, if I hit the enter button, so it will throw error because we have not passed any argument, but it was not giving the suggestion. In case if you are not getting the list of formulas here whenever you are starting the formula typing, so you just hit the enter button and restart the formula typing. Okay, so here it is asking you, okay, it is asking you to enter the start date and end date, right? Start date and end date. So date, you like in Excel we can pass by using double quote, but here that is considered as a text, so you need to strictly use the date function to create the data object. So I will say 2011. I have to create the dates from 1st Jan 2011 to 31st December 2014. So I will say 2014 December month and 31st will be the day. Okay. So what this function is going to do, calendar function is going to return us one date column, which will have the range of dates between these two dates. Okay. So if I hit the enter button, now you will see that it has created a one date time object. And 1461 values are there. So this is good for me. Right? This is even good for me. If you want to create until 15, you can go for the 15 also. That's not a problem. Okay. So these are the maximum number of rows, 1826 row. Instead of creating the quarter column, month name column for 51,000 rows, right? So calculation that DAX is going to perform is even higher in this case. So to avoid the or to reduce the calculation load on the Power BI, what we can do, we can create the separate table and then we can form the relationship between these two tables based on the date columns. And accordingly, we can use these, whatever the columns we will create here in the day calendar column for the analysis purpose or to create the visuals. Okay, so there may be a situation that you will get the data for the, meaning the date table or calendar table from the one of the source, or if you didn't get, okay, always make a practice, don't create all other quarter and on information in this table. Instead of that, it is good to create the table, another table with the calendar function, and then you can add n number of columns here by using the date formulas, whatever the date formulas you can see here. So we are going to use one by one all the formulas. And definitely this will help to improve the performance of Power BI. Okay. Now I wanted to extract the information. Okay. Now I wanted to extract the information from this. So what and all there in the date time. So hours will be there, seconds will be there, minutes will be there, year will be there, month will be there, and day will be there. So these are the functions. If I say day is equal to date, and there is a function, and here it is asking for the date. So I will say calendar. Okay, date. Let's see whether this works. Yes, this is working. Right. So this extract, meaning the day formula is going to extract the day from this date column. Okay. Now I will create column for month. So here I will say month is equal to month, and I don't want to say day here. I will change this to day. And similarly, you can extract the year also. So I will say year is equal to year of calendar date. Okay. So this will extract the information. So there are DAX formulas which is going to help us to extract the information from date. So day, even in case of month is there. Okay, even more formulas are there. Okay, year is there. Okay, let me month add here. I think I missed to add the month. So in the list, I will add month also. Right. So these are the formulas or built-in formulas to work with the date. Even if you want to extract the hours, you can extract. If you have a date time data, it is coming from the database, and you can extract the hours also. So there is a formula called hours, and just pass the calendar date. Since hours are 00, so it is returning as a single zero. But yes, even in case of minutes also, we will be able to get the details. Minute function is there. Let's say calendar of date and hit the enter button. Yeah. Similarly, if you want to extract the seconds, you can extract the seconds also. Seconds is equal to, there is a formula called second, and let's say calendar date. So in this way, see here, minute, second, and hours are 0. That's why we are getting 000 all the places. But if the numbers are there, it will extract those numbers. By default, it is not going to return the zeros. Okay. Even if you want to see the date which is falling in which quarter, so you can use the quarter function. So I will say quarter. So there is a function called quarter, which is going to return the date, which is going to return the quarter number. So here you can see that the date which you can see is coming from the first quarter. In year, we have 4 quarters, and all the numbers, if you see here in the drop down, okay. So the numbers are 1 to 4 only. So these are the quarters. Okay. So not only this much, but yes, we have more formulas also. So there is something called E date and EO of month. Okay. EO of month is nothing but end of month. E date is nothing but estimated date. Okay, let's see how this works. So if I add new column here, if I say E date, so you don't need to remember each and every function, but yes, you at least you should know the names and the purpose. Okay, so here it asks, okay, E date stands for the estimated date, and it returns the date that is indicated the number of months before or after the date. How to give the before, how to give the after. If you enter the number, positive number, it will consider that months after date, meaning it will return the date that is after the start date. If you enter the negative number in place of month, so it will enter, sorry, it will return the previous month's date. The date will go back. Okay. So now, if I say calendar date, okay, date is equal to calendar date. This is fine. If I say 1 month, so as I know, after 1 month, what will be the date? 1st Feb 2011 here for first row. So you can see that 1st Feb, 2nd Feb, 3rd Feb. So each and every date is shifted by the 1 month. Okay. If I say 12 month, it will shift or it will return the date after 1 year. Right? So this is how it works. Even if I enter the negative number, it will go in past and return the 1 year back date. Right? This is how it works. This formula we can say E date. Okay. Now, there is another formula called EO month, end of month. So here, if I use EO month, it is just asking for the calendar date, meaning the date, starting date it is asking, and then how many months you have to add to this date, and then it will return. Okay. So I will say 0 here. Okay. And if I hit the enter, so it will return the same month's last date. Okay. Last or a month, end date of the month. Okay. So since all these dates are falling in the Jan month, so it is returning 31st Jan. If I go down, so you can see that the dates which are falling in the February month, it is returning in the last day of February month. Similarly for March, and it works or it goes on. If I say first, so if I add one here, like previous formula, it will consider the next month start date as an start date, and it will return the that month's last day. Okay, this is how it works. If you want current month's date, end date, you can use the 0 here as an argument, second argument. Okay, so this is about end of the month. Then hours, minute discussed. Okay. If you want to extract the time, you will be able to extract the time by simply using the formula called time. Okay, so if I say time, and here, okay, time is giving you the or gives you to enter the hours and all. So how to extract the day, the time from the date? So obviously you will be able to extract by using hours formula and then pass the calendar date here. And by using same formula, you can extract the minutes also, right? That's what I discussed in earlier. Even we have performed these operations, so we can use the already created column also. So I will say seconds. Even from these columns, meaning these columns, minutes and seconds and hours, I can use the information and I can pass here to return the time. Okay. So this is returning me. Okay. So this, since this is in a date time, okay, you need to manually convert this to time, then it is going to work. Okay. Similarly, if you want this to be in date, you can go here and change the date type. Okay. So by default, the data type is date time. In that case, it will show the date and time together. Then there is something called weekday, week num, and net working day. Okay, so this formula, and this, okay, week num. So week num is going to return as a week number of year. So if I say week num is equal to week number, and here calendar date, return type of this is, let me say, 1. So you can go here and check what does this mean. So if you use 1, the week begins with Sunday. If you use the 2, okay, the week begins with Monday, right? And accordingly it will return the week number. Even in this case, okay, week begins on Monday. So this is how it works. So now we have seen week number, we will say weekday. Weekday is equal to weekday. So this returns the day number of week. And if I use the 1, you can see that Sunday is equal to 1 through the Saturday. If I use 2, it will consider Monday as a first day. And if I use the 3, Monday is equal to 0, and through the Sunday is equal to 6. Okay, in this way it works. I will consider Sunday as a 1 first, and I will enter. So you will get the 1 to 7 week or day of week numbers. Week number is different. So this is returning week number from a year. Okay, from a year. And yes, this gets affected based on the parameter which we have passed here. Now next is net working day or net work day. So net work, I will just say, and I will start the formula. Okay. So here you can see that it returns the number of whole works day between two dates. So here what we are going to do is, by default it will consider Saturday Sunday as a weekend, but if you want to specify the day, you can specify. Okay, what I'm going to do is, here I will say start date. Start date is equal to, let's say today is the start date. I will create the date. Okay, this date has today's date, so I will use the date measure. Even in case of end date, I will enter date of 2023, then 09 month and 27th of September. Okay, so in this way I created a date. Third parameter is ask weekends. You can specify the weekends also. And if is there any holiday, you can specify the list of holiday also. But how to specify, we will see that part. If I hit the enter button, so net work day is 2020. Okay. So this, let me pass the date parameter here, so that it will not get affected. It should, okay, but third parameter I think we need to pass. If I say 8, then 27 of the month, and weekend, what to pass in the weekend? Again, if it is confusing to you, go to the DAX reference formulas in which is given by the Power BI. Okay, DAX reference, even in any case of the formulas, it is better to use the DAX reference. So they have mentioned there what to pass in place of the formulas, meaning the parameters we are using in the formulas. Even how to pass the values. Okay, so in case of weekends, you have to pass the numbers. Okay, even if you go here and refer the DAX reference, so it shows if you pass 1, it will consider Saturday Sunday as a weekend. If you pass 2, Sunday Monday. If you pass 3, Monday Tuesday. Okay, so like this it works. And even if you pass 11, it will only consider Sunday as a holiday, Monday as a holiday, Tuesday as a holiday. Like this you can use this. Even in case of uh, holidays, list of holidays, either you can pass column table of one or more dates that are to be executed from the working day calendar, right? So you need to use the column here in case of holiday list. Okay, so here what I will do, I will use the first one, so that it should consider Sunday and Monday as my weekend. And now it returns me the 23 working days are there from today's date to next month's 27 days. 23 working days are there. If you want to pass the holiday list, obviously you need to pass the column name. But if you don't want to pass the column name, you can use the syntax which creates the list. And here in this case, you can pass the dates. So I will say 2023. Okay, on 19th September or 21st September, there is a one holiday. So I will add that here. Okay. And now you can see that since I have added one holiday, it is going to return me the 22 working days. If I add one more holiday, okay, randomly I am going to add holidays. Okay. So if I say on 03, okay, it is not going to affect how this is working. Just check. Okay. So 3rd September, it might be a weekend. Okay. So it is Sunday. So you can see that even though I have added 3rd September here, nothing is affected. right? If I make this 4th September, then it is going to work. Meaning, if your holiday date is coming from the Monday to Friday, then only it is going to subtract, because this is how it works. So, anyways, net working day is going to help us with the total number of work days between two dates. Then there is one more formula. Net work day, we are done. Yes. So there is a formula called date difference. Okay. If you want to see the difference, meaning the number of days between two dates. So I was just checking what formula is missing here. So date difference, I have not discussed, right? So I'm going to say here date difference. Obviously, the name suggests it is going to return as the difference between two dates. And if I say date difference, it is asking me for the date one. I will pass the date of 2023-08-27. Today's date I'm going to use, and even in case of date two, if I pass, okay, 2023-09, or I will say 08-31st. Okay, so I have to see the dates between these two dates or the difference. Okay, what I am missing? You have passed too many arguments. Where? Minimum 3 arguments are required. Okay, one more argument is missing. Yes. So here you have to say interval. Interval is nothing but what to consider to return the difference. Okay, either you want a difference in day, in hours, in minutes, or even more than that. If you are entering the date period or two dates which are very far, so you can get the difference in quarters also, seconds also, weeks also, years also, right? So I will say day is sufficient for me, and that's why it has thrown error. So now it says that there are 4 days from today to until the last day of this month, or 31st. Yes, it is able to return the difference in days also, in seconds also, minutes also, hours also, in even in case of year, quarter, months, and day. Right. So these are the formulas are there in Power BI to work with date and time functions, date and time data. Okay. I hope you like the content of this video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day.